country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
No agreement with the EU, but
Good afternoon, viewers, and welcome to another episode of Public Service Reports in the beautiful city of Port Harcourt on the Atlantic Television Network. News, events, and stories abound in the state system. ATN's appetite for in-depth, unbiased, and factual charge is a driving principle for this program in order to bring government activities to the doorstep of the people. Now let's go through the highlights of today's reports. In River State, Ohaneze wants justice for mechanic's death. In Abia State, Governor Oti visits widows of slain soldiers. In economy, food, beverage workers fume over multinational companies' exit. And on minimum wage, Labour declares indefinite strike. We will take a short break, and when we return, we go straight to the details. Stay tuned.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
Welcome back. Ohaneze Ndibo is demanding justice over the death of a motor mechanic, Chukwudi Abraham, while in detention at the Octopus Strike Force of the River State Police Command in Port Harcourt. This is coming after members of the Ohaneze Ndibo gathered at the spare parts market in Ikoko, Maitu exit of the deceased shop is located, and marched around the place after they had paid a condolence visit to his family. During the protests, they insisted that Chukwudi's death in January this year was suspicious and called on the Inspector General of Police to order a thorough investigation to ascertain the circumstances of his death and unmask the perpetrators and make them face the law. Speaking, the Ezendibo in River State and Bayelsa State, Sam Wokolo, said the deceased was arrested by the Tactical Police Unit led by a senior officer under what he described as a vendetta mission and was detained illegally, and also debunked claims by the police that Chukwudi was a kidnapper and detained him illegally, saying a close examination of the deceased's body shows that he was tortured, which resulted in his death. Also speaking, the deceased's younger sibling, Chibueze Abraham, expressed bitterness that his brother was arrested on the 11th of January 2024, but that the police denied the family and lawyer access to him. While it would be recalled that the police command, Grace Iringe Koko, in a statement denied that the deceased was not tortured as alleged, saying he was implicated in kidnapping, armed robbery, and cultism. There is more news, but don't forget you can connect with us and watch us on our ATM socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network, X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. President of Trade Union Congress TUC Comrade Festus Osifo has commended Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin-Obaseki for prioritizing the welfare of workers in the state and the minimum wage of workers to 70,000 naira, which is the highest in the country. Comrade Osifo gave the commendation during a courtesy visit to the governor at Government House in Benin City. He commended the governor for his administration's achievements in the last 7.5 years, noting that the Obaseki-led administration had taken Edo to enviable heights. The TUC president said, "This is the first courtesy call we are paying to any governor in Nigeria. In fact, on a few occasions, we have actually been invited by a few state governors." Abia State Governor Alex Oti on Saturday visited widows of soldiers killed in Aba during Thursday's sit-at-home declared by the indigenous people of Biafra. The governor vowed to smoke at whoever was directly or remotely connected to the killing. Speaking when he paid a condolence visit to the headquarters of the 144 Battalion of the Nigerian Army, ASA, in Ukwa West local government area, Oti said, "Let me start by sending out words of sympathy to the Nigerian Army, the brigade commander himself, and most importantly, the families of the fallen heroes." While which he attributed to criminals who want to destabilize the state, Oti described it as very sad. He announced automatic scholarships for the deceased children up to the university level, assuring that he would also ensure that the scholarship is legalized by the State House of Assembly to ensure that successive governments in the state will continue with the trajectory. Earlier, the brigade commander of 14 Ohafia, Brigadier General Olushola Dia, said they were not relenting in their efforts to apprehend the perpetrators of the heinous act, disclosing that they had been gathering intelligence to bring whoever that is directly or remotely connected to the killing to book. He disclosed that 2 vehicles belonging to the army were burnt, weapons carted away, and 5 personnel lost their lives during the unfortunate attack. The Abia state government has denied a widely circulated statement reported advisor on media and publicity to Governor Alex Oti that the governor supported the May 30 sit-at-home declared by the indigenous people of Biafra. The Commissioner for Information and Culture, Oke Kanu, who issued a statement on the matter, said the attention of Abia state government was drawn to a widely circulating statement purportedly made by Governor Alex Chioma Oti on the order allegedly issued by the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB for a sit-at-home protest on May 30th, 2024. According to Kanu, Oti was quoted as having spoken through his special advisor in media and publicity, implying that he allegedly supported the sit-at-home order. In denying the alleged endorsements, the Abia government said, "The Abia state government hereby categorically and unequivocally states that His Excellency did not make the statement attributed to him, nor does it reflect his personal views or those of the Abia state leadership." While advising the public to disregard the comments in the purported statement, the state government said that Governor Oti maintains zero tolerance for any form of criminality or civil disturbance in any part of the state. The Anambra State Police Command has deployed its operatives to strategic parts of the state in the attempt by the organized labor to enforce the strike action declared by the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC. This came as the organized labor in the state vowed to monitor all affiliates, unions and offices to ensure full compliance. A statement by the State Police Public Relations Officer, SP Totuku Ikenga, said the command stands with the federal government, which has declared the strike as illegal, adding that the police would stop at nothing to thwart its enforcement. Any attempt by unscrupulous elements to hijack of the states to use their helplines to report any security-related incidents for prompt response. But the Labour insisted that all offices, both private and public, should be under lock and key. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons has arraigned an 83-year-old woman, Clara Chinwe Deborah Ogo, founder of the Govt Orphanage in Anambra State, for allegedly buying and selling of human beings. A statement signed by NATIP's Communications Officer Adekoye Vincent on Sunday, Ogo was arraigned before a federal high court in Oka, presided over by Justice Hawa Yewa. This is coming after the Anambra State government in October 2023 handed over the founder of the Arrows of God Community Children's Home Onitsha, Reverend D.C. Ogo, to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons. And the orphanage came and exposed the alleged illicit activity related to illegal adoptions and sales of babies linked to the orphanage. Clara Ogo pleaded not guilty to the charge, while the presiding judge granted her bail with a bond of 1.3 million naira and 2 sureties in like sum. She was subsequently remanded at the Onitsha Correctional Facility pending the fulfillment of her bail conditions, while the case has been adjourned to July 10, 2024 for trial. Seaport Terminal Operators Association of Nigeria says a prolonged closure of a section of the outbound lane of Marine Bridge in Apapa, Lagos, is slowing down the evacuation of already cleared cargoes from the Lagos Port Complex, Apapa. The chairman, Vicky Hastrop, who disclosed this in a statement, appealed to the government to speed up ongoing repairs on the bridge to ensure its prompt reopening. She also expressed worry about the frequent partial closure of the busy bridge, adding that the bridge has experienced prolonged partial and intermittent closures over the past 2 years without noticeable, appreciable progress of the repair work being done. According to her, the comprehensive repair work of the third mainland bridge, which is no longer the Marine Bridge, was carried out within 5 months, while that of the Marine Bridge has been ongoing for more than 2 years. She also appealed to the government to hasten the repair works at the bridge. Former Ogun State Governor Benga Daniel says his administration laid the foundation for the present Ogun oil exploration status. This is coming after the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited had on Friday declared Ogun State as a frontier for oil exploration. A statement on Sunday congratulated Governor Dapo Abiodun on the development, adding that the declaration of the state as a frontier state for oil exploration was a fulfillment of the vision started by the establishment of the Gateway Oil and Gas Development Limited in 2003. The senator representing Ogun East has thanked Abiodun for seeing through the vision and urged him to revisit the situation of the Gateway Industrial Institute established in 2006. in order to take advantage of these underused developments. He also appealed to the governor to see the pending construction of the Makon-Omi Bridge via Ifiri, which his administration planned but failed to be realized. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, on Sunday expressed satisfaction with the ongoing continuous voter registration in Ondo State. Yakubu, who was in the state to assess the exercise, told journalists that as of Saturday, the Commission had registered 20,000 fresh Ondo voters ahead of the November 16 governorship election in the state. INEC commenced the continuous voters registration last Monday, May 27, 2024, at various designated centers across the 18 local government areas of the state. According to the Commission, the collection of both the continuous voters registration and the permanent voters card will end on June 5, 2024. Speaking to journalists at the Akure Airport on Sunday, the INEC chairman described the turnout of Ondo people for the continuous voters registration as impressive. Yakubu also reiterated that 17 political parties would be participating in the November 16th governorship poll, saying the parties had conducted their primaries and had submitted the names of their candidates and running mates to the Commission. Meanwhile, the resident electoral commissioner in Osun State, Dr. Muti Agboke, has said the Commission would continue to improve on its use of technology in future elections. Agboke made the disclosure during a visit to the Correspondence Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Osun State Council, in Osogbo on Friday. The REC, who declared that no staff of the Commission had the capacity to assist any politician during the poll, said election processes had been digitalized right from the point of distribution of election materials. Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has expressed displeasure against estimated billing by the Benin Electricity Distribution Company on the people of the state. Ayedatiwa gave the distribution company operating in the state an order to immediately provide electricity consumers in the state with meters. According to the governor, who gave the instruction through the Ondo State Electricity Regulatory Bureau, said the order takes effect on June 1st, 2024. The governor also rolled out electricity meters in order to ameliorate the impact of the economic hardship on the people. The coordinator of SERB, Engineer Stephen Bolawole, also said that all the discos are expected to meter all the facilities within 12 months. Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State is set to declare a state of emergency on the education sector on Tuesday, with the aim to expedite efforts to enhance the delivery of educational services and ensure quality education for all in the state. The governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Bature, disclosed this in a statement on Sunday. He quoted the governor saying the declaration is in fulfillment of one of his crucial campaign promises outlined in his document titled My Commitment to Kano, which was formulated and presented to the public in 2022. This is in order to expedite a comprehensive overhaul of the sector and propose a definite solution to the current challenges in higher, secondary, and primary education. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has lamented the existence of numerous abandoned projects left behind in different parts of the state by past administrations. He said his government had not deemed it fit to award new contracts for new projects in the past 1 year since his administration began to enable him to work and complete the abandoned projects for the benefits of the people. Mufang made this known during a meeting with journalists in Jos as part of the activities to mark his first year in office. He condemned the negative impacts that uncompleted projects had on the socio-economic development of the state. He maintained that this government of his would always make decisions in the best interest of the state and the people who elected him to power. The governor called on the people to continue to support his administration to enable it to take the state to greater heights. 4 traders have lost their lives due to severe rainstorms accompanied by a strong wind which occurred at the IBB Square in Bauchi State during the just concluded Northeast Trade Fair. Eyewitness said the storm, which began last night, killed 2 people on the spot and caused significant damage to the Gombe and Yobe States pavilions, as well as several business tents within the trade fair complex. 2 other injured victims were said to have died later at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital, while a spokesman of the Bauchi Police Command, SP Ahmed, confirmed the incident in a statement to journalists on Sunday. According to him, following the incident, emergency response team, led by the police and other security agencies, swiftly initiated search and rescue operations. Trade fair was organized by the Northeast Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mine and Agriculture and supported by the 6 states of the region, while Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima inaugurated the 15th edition of the Joint Domestic Trade Fair in Bauchi on May 18, 2024. You are watching Government and Public Service reports on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this short break.
Corruption not in my country.
Driver, why you just dey jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask go?
Because this road where they see so, it no guarantee safe delivery.
We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so e no dey. Light outside. The infrastructure uncle, e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, quell everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Miss from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No vex, now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't call.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. We call you back.
Their behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently. Make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akin Fadeyi Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, won't buga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say nothing. Okay now. Here we go.
the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on it.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Govt&Public Service reports on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) has declared an indefinite strike over the federal government's refusal to increase the minimum wage from 60,000 naira. Confirming the development, NLC spokesperson said the planned strike is expected to kick off today, June 3rd. The organized labor had given the National Electricity May 31st to reverse the electricity tariff hike also. To this effect, the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Gas Workers (NUPENG) has directed its members to comply with the directive of the two labor centers to begin an indefinite nationwide strike on Monday. Its General Secretary, Mr. Afolabi Olawale, in a statement on Saturday had said the union was committed to ensuring total compliance with the directive. The federal government has warned the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress not to discontinue the ongoing negotiations over the new minimum wage. The federal government also asked the organized labor to shelve its plan to embark on a nationwide beginning today, June 3rd. The Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef San, in a statement, they described the proposed ineffectual and illegal. According to him, the agitation for the increase of the minimum wage of workers in the country is currently being addressed, adding that the labor unions failed to fulfill the condition precedents that would enable them to embark on a strike action. The AGF, in a letter addressed to the two labor unions, noted that the federal government and other stakeholders involved in the tripartite committee on determination of a new national minimum wage had not declared an end to negotiation. He argued that in view of the fact that the federal government and state governments were not the only employers a new national minimum wage, it was, therefore, vital to balance the interests and capacity of all employers of labor in the country, inclusive of the in order to determine a minimum of the working population. The Food, Beverage and Tobacco Senior Staff Association (FOB-TOB) has raised the alarm over the increasing exit of multinational companies from Nigeria, with the latest being the closure of Kimberly-Clark, producers of Huggies, diapers and sanitary pads. FOB-TOB lamented that closures and exits are sending wrong signals to other investors. Speaking at the association's 15th National Delegate Conference in Asaba, Delta State, with the theme Rescuing the Food, Beverage and Tobacco Industry from the Danger of Collapse, rose and expectations of stakeholders. President of the association said quite significant because of recent happenings in the country, and is particularly concerning the ease of doing business. According to him, we have seen and heard of as a result of the threatened environment. It is said that if the flood sweeps away the bamboo tree, the Iroquois tree should become wary. Decrying the economy, Oyibo said from the last National Delegate Conference in 2021, the nation had witnessed a lot of upheavals occasioned by the political climate and various policies of the government. From the Naira redesign to the uncertainty of the electoral process, the removal of subsidy on petrol, as well as the floating of the Naira. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has once again warned about the hazardous practice of using dangerous chemicals to preserve food items. Specifically, the agency has banned and emphasized dangers associated with dichlorvus, a chemical to safeguard food from spoilage. In a statement signed by the resident media consultant to NAFDAC, Shayo Akintola, on Sunday, the agency showed concerns over the recent viral videos showcasing individuals using dangerous chemicals to preserve food items like beans, stockfish, and crayfish. The Director General NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, urged traders and merchants to desist from using unauthorized chemicals on food meant for human consumption. These adverse effects highlight the importance of adhering to safety guidance to mitigate the risk associated with dichlorvus exposure. Similarly, the Director of Veterinary Medicine, VMAP, Dr. Remetu Momodu, reiterated that using certain chemicals, especially pesticides, to protect grains and prevent beans from weevils is not approved. She explained that there are approved pesticides for use as fumigants, which should be used according to the manufacturer's specifications on the product label. She stressed that these products should not be applied directly to food due to their inherent dangers to human health. Momodu further elaborated that consuming food contaminated with dichlorvus can cause dizziness, vomiting, difficulty in breathing, tremors, and convulsions, and in some cases can lead to coma and death. She warned that once used, pesticide residues remain on or in the food, washing the food does not mitigate the risk, as the harmful substance would have already soaked into it. She emphasized that the agency cannot recommend washing as a solution, as it gives a false sense of security. Momodu also advised consumers to avoid buying from vendors known to use such practices and to report them to the nearest NAFDAC office for appropriate sanctions. NAFDAC DG Adeyeye further emphasized alternative methods for preserving food, mentioning the use of biopesticides as a safer option than dichlorvus. She noted that food remaining unspoiled for an extended period might indicate pesticide contamination rather than freshness unless stored in the refrigerator. In addition to the banning of the 100 ml size bottle, the agency has implemented several initiatives such as stakeholders sensitization meetings on restricting the direct application of dichlorvus on grains and foodstuffs, and thorough laboratory testing to ensure pesticides residues do not exceed maximum limits for both in-country consumption and for exports. Adeyeye continued NAFDAC's commitment to best global practices, including the phase-out of certain pesticides that have been banned in other countries due to proven toxicity. She also acknowledged the challenges faced by farmers due to bans on various chemicals and emphasized the importance of transitioning to safer alternatives. The organized labor has shut down all entry points of aviation agencies at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, and International Airport in Abuja to press for the implementation of a new national minimum wage. This action has, however, affected flight operations at the nation's busiest airport, as airlines and passengers were left stranded at the airport entrances. This is coming barely 24 hours after the aviation unions directed its members to withdraw services across airports in Nigeria. The unions decided that after an emergency meeting held on Sunday, reading from a jointly prepared speech with his trade union Congress counterpart Festus Osifo and the NLC leader, expressed grave concern and disappointment over the federal government's failure to finalize and enact a new national minimum wage act and to reverse the increase in electricity tariffs to 65 naira per kilowatt. British Airways has opened its newly renovated lounge at Lagos Airport 6 months refurbishment. British Airways said the space has been cleverly designed to give customers more room to enjoy an upgraded food and beverage experience. Adding that, the revamped space, designed to provide an upgraded dining, relaxation and working experience, spans 360 square meters and features zones tailored to various customer needs. The airline disclosed that customers could also pull up a chair at a newly built bar where a bartender would serve drinks including cocktails, wine and soft drinks. Chief Customer Officer Callum Lamin also said the airline is focused on investing in the entire customer journey, not just on board. Power generation companies are urging the federal government to address the 2 trillion naira electricity debt, emphasizing that 90% of their monthly invoices remain unpaid. They lamented that the issue is currently endangering the continued operation of their power generation plants, hence requesting the immediate and expedited actions be taken to prevent national security challenges that may result from the failure of the GENCOs to sustain steady production of electricity for Nigerians. According to a statement signed by its board chairman on Sunday, Colonel Sani Bello retired, the GENCOs are currently owed over 2 trillion naira for the power they generated, put into the national grid and consumed by end users. And this is in addition to the over 1.7 trillion naira funding gap created in the recent supplementary MYTO Order 2024 without a designated fund to fill the gap. The statement also quoted the group as saying GENCOs are of the position that there is a need for a coordinated approach by all stakeholders in the NESI to address the liquidity issues realistically and sustainably in the power sector so that Nigerians can have access to reliable electricity supply. Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board has rescheduled its 2024 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination for 24,535 candidates. JAMB rescheduled the UTME due to a substantial non-compliance with its standards in the centers of the affected candidates. The board has directed affected candidates to print the supplementary examination notification slips from Tuesday, 4th June 2024. to ascertain their designated examination centers. A statement signed by on Sunday by JAMS spokesman Dr. Fabian Benjamin said the board had also released additional 3,921 withheld results. Meanwhile, 3,921 results. Meanwhile, 3,921 outstanding 2024 UTME results have now been cleared and released. Minister of Solid Minerals Development Dr. Dele Alake says plans are ongoing by the federal government to establish 6 mineral centers in the 6 geopolitical zones. Alake had disclosed this in Abuja, said the plan was part of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration's commitments to diversify the country's economy by developing key sectors such as the solid minerals industry. According to the minister, the centers are also part of the government's commitment to promote value addition to its minerals, aimed at facilitating multiplier effects on the economy, adding that no license would be granted to mining companies to operate without presenting a comprehensive plan for value addition, such as processing and refining. Alake also said investors in the past extracted raw mineral resources from Nigeria without adding value to them, which he described as a great loss to the country's economy. ExxonMobil says it is awaiting Nigeria's National Petroleum Company Limited to lift the injunction preventing the sale of its assets to Seplat Energy. The company's regional communications manager in Africa, Oge Udiaga, who disclosed this, confirmed it had signed a settlement agreement with ExxonMobil companies in Nigeria over the proposed divestment of 100% interest in Mobil Producing Nigeria Unlimited to Seplat Energy. The resolution of the controversies surrounding the sale of the assets to Seplat would add about 480,000 barrels to Nigeria's oil production. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Heineken Lobobiri, said Nigeria had lost about $30 billion in the past 2.5 years as a result of the unsuccessful divestment. Lobobiri also said Nigeria was losing about 480,000 barrels of crude oil per day due to the Seplat ExxonMobil crisis, stressing that the divestment deal between Seplat and ExxonMobil had been stalled for over 2 years. 13 players have commenced training at the Govt&Public International Stadium, Uyo, as the Super Eagles intensified preparations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against South Africa and Benin Republic. Wilfred Ndidi, Kelechi Iheanacho, Samuel Chukwueze, Fisayo Bashiru, Terem Murphy, and Victor Boniface were among the players who took part in the training. Other new boys, Ismaila Sadiq and Kenneth Ibukwe, as well as Ojo Olorun Leke, Stanley Wabili, Benjamin Tanimo, Ibrahim Olawoyin, and Raphael Onyedika also participated in the session. 10 more players are still being expected in the camp. This is where we wrap it up on today's edition of Government and Public Service Report on Atlantic Television Network in the city of Port Harcourt. You can stay connected with us on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV atlanticnetwork.net. You can watch us on our website www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Remember, peace and unity are the pathways for progress. I am Divine Bernard, thanking you for watching.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable
You are a human